This work is not made by a professional or any institution. This is a personal point of view. Take from this whatever you comprehend and whatever it's useful. We find in others our own form to be. There are many ways to interpret things, such as music, verbal gestures, emotions, words, and so on. What is what makes us to interpret or take certain message from what we see and hear? Why some people understand things differently and even to the point to feel offended? Why some people find it funny and others don't? Because we see the reality according to whatever exists inside of us. There are people who get inspired with abstract art, whereas others might find it irrelevant. Why? Because we find in the picture aspects that exists in our emotions, mind, or our subconscious. It's a reflection of what lays in the depths of our mind, an identification of an emotion. It seems that a good artist admires good art. Why artists get very inspired with things that may look boring to others? Because an artist is filled inside with colors and possibilities that trigger the imagination. Any work seems fantastic, its imagination and its world is what he sees in it. Same thing happens for a poet. If you say a love poem to someone, and if the person likes it very much, it's because the person is charming, it knows exactly what it is about, and even so it could take it with more love than it was pretended to be. However, it works also for unpleasant things. People that hate very much can be offended easily with simple words. They interpret the words with the same hate that they carry inside, like the same way they used to hate. They think that the world sees them as they see the world. Regardless of trying to insult in purpose, there is people so complicated that assume many things, assume insinuations, creating themselves a very distorted reality, because they live full inside with evileness. They do not know what to trust anymore, unconsciously think that everybody is with them, as they are with everybody. They think that the world is also made of lies, evileness and abuse. Regardless if that was true or false. A woman could feel greed at the moment she sees another woman, because she'd find in her a reflection of her own ambitions. Same thing happens when we feel greedy while looking at a very luxurious car, money, good life. What we find in the other person is a reflection of our own ambitions. If someone feels insulted with a certain nickname, and if this nickname represents something disgusting according to the mind and emotions of the nicknamed person, this person will find a reflection of what it dislikes and will feel offended. Curiously, also the insult can be taken like a compliment. This depends on how we do interpret, and what do we interpret depends on our level of comprehension. If a person wants to insult you in purpose, the first thing that will come to its mind is whatever would be an insult to this insulter. So the insult is no more or less than a reflection of the own insecurities of the insulter. Actually, people could start fighting when they find their own defects on themselves. Exchanging insults and they reflect each other whatever they hate. Sometimes, compliments could be taken as insults and some insults could be taken as compliments. Every opinion and commentary that a person throws is no more than a reflection of its own reality, and the way we perceive it is a reflection of our own personal reality also. Two realities meet each other and can fall in love of their own compliments or can hate if both have disgusting things inside, finding on each other their defects or virtues. If someone calls you dog, and for you a dog represents happiness and friendliness, given representation depends of the comprehension and knowledge of these animals, so you won't take that nickname with incommodity. But if for you a dog represents an animal that stinks, that is aggressive and that has a low street life, you could take this as an insult. What we see outside, it's a reflection of our own interior. What lies inside of us is representations, and those representations depend according our own comprehension's capacity. Someone intelligent will find the intelligent aspect of people and things. Someone impulsive thinks that everybody is idiot. So what is the reality? The reality is what we are on the inside. The reality is what we have in our psyche. The reality will shape accordingly of what we comprehend or not. If you find this analysis interesting, it's because inside of you exists the exotic thinking. If you find this is irrelevant or boring, it's because you have other likes. Does not mean it's bad or good, simply what exists is our own inside reality. It is not about making guilty or pride as if this were a rule of what is correct or incorrect. Not all people understand the same jokes, and if we watch comedy daily, anything could seem comical to us, because we see what we have inside. We are what we eat. Realities exist according people live in this world. Interestingly, not everyone gets offended with the same insult or feel complimented with the same poem. Listen to your favorite song, whereas other people could find it indifferent or ugly. That song simply is a projection of our emotions or mind, that make us to like the song. Those projections are according of our way of being, that has to be according to our passions, wishes, etc. The song is what we are. Conclusion. Whoever finds admiration, is its own admiration what it sees. Whoever finds greed, is because maybe unconsciously is seeing a reflection of its own ambitions. We must not become victims of what other people say about us, even in a pleasant or unpleasant way. We must know that whatever we see in the outside sometimes can be a reflection of ourselves, sometimes directly, and sometimes unconsciously.